Hey guys, what's up? It's Brittany Sullivan. I'm here tonight talking to you about my new favorite show called Grace and Frankie, and particularly the credit card episode. So a little bit about, the show. I haven't really watched Netflix that much. I'm more of an HBO girl, personally. Like my girls, I like my Game of Thrones occasionally, here and there. Maybe some True Blood, a little old school True Blood. But my sister said, you need to watch this show, and it makes me think of you and me. And so I was like, yeah, okay. Well, you like Dancing with the Stars, so that's usually her plot line that she enjoys, which is fine. But I was, I'm very particular with what I like, and I couldn't be more pleasantly surprised because the entire show is just about something I think for our country is not really talked about that much, and the whole show is about Grace and Frankie, these two characters, Grace being the powerhouse executive woman, and Frankie, this kind of hippie, really just sweet, fun-loving woman. They're married to these divorce lawyers, and they think they're about to go to a big dinner to celebrate them, leaving the firm and retiring finally, but they find out instead that their husband, Robert and Saul, are leaving them for each other, and they're actually gay. And so I just think it's a really cool theme in general about 2016, and I think it's just a really progressive, topic that we haven't even spoken about, that there's many, gays and bisexuals and transgender people coming out when they're younger, but it's not really talked about, you're now in your 50s and 60s and 70s, and you decide, it's time for me to live my life who I want to be. You start off the episode, little recap, where they're just sitting there, and they're taking in everything that's happened, like, oh my god, my entire life has been a lie, and how long has it been happening for? Have they always loved each other? Did they ever enjoy being with us? And they're both two characters that just hate each other initially. And it's just a really beautiful moment where they're both sitting there, so raw, and Frankie's character, she's sitting there, and she just staring off, and Grace says, I think I should wash my hair, and Frankie says, but why? And she says back, well, it's what people do, and it's just one of those raw, just kind of weirdly funny in a way, because they just don't even know what to do with their lives. It's just their entire world's been rocked, and they don't even know what to do with themselves, with each other, because they're stuck in this beach house they all bought together, so they thought as an investment, but really it was their love nest. They had no idea the entire time. So they're sitting there, and Frankie says, she keeps getting these phone calls from Saul, her very sweet, nurturing, now soon-to-be ex-husband, and Grace's more aggressive character says to her, he's going to keep calling, and she says, yeah, and I'm going to keep ignoring, but it wouldn't be as satisfying as if I hung up on him, but I'm going to write about it in my journal later. She's that much of a sweetheart where she can't even tell him off yet. And then, flash forward to They go out to lunch with their friends, and their friends are like, let us take you out. And Grace, the hard one, she says, let me pay for it. She goes to pay for it, however, her car's been shut off. And she knows immediately exactly what went down. And she looks at Frankie and says, can I see your card? And she goes, what's this about? Like, what for? And the card gets taken, it's also declined. And then you just see this huge transition of Frankie, who was this sweet, fun-loving, loved Saul, was trying to be so understanding that this was part of his process and she couldn't change what's going on. She went starkly the other way, and to the point where it's a funny line where she says, she comes in, they're all in the same house, and, Saul wants to check on Frankie, make sure she's okay, and her response now is, you have a box from Zappos. I ran over it. And it's just, there's so many good one-liners, and it's just, I love how it's just raw, and it's comedic, and I think it can only get better, and, I can't imagine to see, what goes on next. It's only two characters, but there's just so many different relationships that you don't even think about that go on to the show like that, because it's about Grace and Frankie primarily, but the entire show, it starts to talk about Saul and Robert as lovers, and so it's just really a great show, and I couldn't be more excited to hear, to see how the whole thing unfolds. So thanks so much for tuning in with me. If you want to follow me and hear more info about my new favorite show, find me at BrittyRose4 on Instagram, on Twitter. Pretty much everything is, BrittyRose4. Have a great night, guys.